Viewers, welcome to Africa in Beyond Television Network, and let us talk about policy in the nation of Zimbabwe. Is the policy being respected? Are we having our institutions following the policies set up by government? How is the country run? In my own understanding, a country is run through policy. And when a policy is formulated, each and every institution, person must follow that policy because it gives direction of how things should be conducted. So we have in Zimbabwe a multi-currency policy system where we have the Zimbabwean dollar, we have the US, we have the rand, uh, and we have the RTGS. That should be respected. Each and every institution must make sure, number one, they accept each and every legally recognized currency. We have the Zim dollar, which is right here in Zimbabwe. This is our money, and it must be received by each and every institution. But we have tertiary institutions, probably government-owned tertiary institutions, who are charging fees exclusively in USD, and that is against the government policy. So these institutions are being urged by Zimcode to take heed of government's directive to charge in Zimbabwean dollar, which remains legal tender. And the concerns of these young people are genuine. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Imi mafana mimi, just know kuti nyika kuti ifambe, we need mayusa iwayo kuti angachita sei." But the major question is this not the legal tender? Is this not our money? That is very important for us to note, which means as Zimbabweans, we must understand that yes, we need US dollars because most important transactions are done in US dollars. But we have to understand that when a policy is formulated, the government must put everything in consideration. This government considered the Zimbabwean dollar as a legal tender. A lot of people are earning Zimbabwean dollars as part of their salaries, which means they must be allowed to offload the same Zimbabwean dollars to these institutions. But because of the issues which are happening, of crookedness which is happening within the nation, you find some money inongonyuka from Norway yopinzwa system in RTGS yotenderedzwa nevakomana votora mayusa vobva vati mimi chendai munosiya mamazimdora aya to these institutions. That has destroyed Zimbabwe because these are people who are working for these institutions, for banks, BZ, and so forth, who are doing this, and they are making huge profits. That has destroyed the economy. At a certain point in time, you deposit 10 US dollars in your EcoCash account or in whatever bank account yako. But for you to be able to withdraw that $10, you would struggle to withdraw it. Unenge wakuchichajwa manje 10% for you to be able to withdraw. That 10% is not going to EcoCash. That 10% is not going to the government. It's going in the pocket of an agent who is working for such an institution. So that destroyed a lot of people. Cases were being reported, but nobody cared about those things. The government never cared to correct those things. Why? It's because their own people were making huge benefits. Just imagine, Kuti, if you make a withdrawal of 5,000 US dollars that day, which withdrawals as an agent, then ukatora 10% from each person, that is 10% of 5,000. That is $500 in your own pocket. Hauna chimwe chawaita, just taking 10%, yakakwira kanzi 20%, ikasvika pa 30%. All those things were happening in the eyes of the authorities, and these people were making huge profits. Vakatenga dzimba, vakavaka dzimba, vakatenga dzimota. It happened. Machange money akaita mari. Right now, the circus continues. Who suffers at last? The people of Zimbabwe suffers at last. So these institutions are simply defying the directives and the orders of the government, and the government cannot do anything. Why? It's because their directives are illegal at first. You cannot put directives which do not work. They introduced the currency of Zimbabwe so as to loot from people's accounts. And that destroyed confidence, that destroyed trust. And the people of Zimbabwe will never trust this Zim dollar, will never trust this. So, hakuna ruda kugara nechimari ichocho. Adati angochiwana choenda, angochiwana choenda. That is the reason why we have all these problems. So, I don't know, guys, whatever you think, but I believe President Mnangagwa is actually in trouble if he fails to correct this.